Hello, 4C family. My name is Jonathan Ford, and I'm excited to be here with one of our own 4C members, Joan Fountain, talking about a new book that she's written called Refiner's Fire. It's part of a series of novels that she's written, that she's writing, called No Shadow of Turning. This book is filled with scripture. It's so interesting. I was telling Joan it's the first novel that I've read where I felt like I had to have the book in one hand and the Bible in the other, and it just drew me into scriptures, passage after passage, because you've put at the end of kind of different scenes or parts, you've dropped in Bible references for people, and that doesn't have the whole verse with it, just has the Bible reference. So I found myself compelled to look up what is this verse and how does it relate to the passage. What inspired you to do that?
Well, I'm glad you were compelled to look them up, because you can read the book in two different ways. Either read it straight through for the story value, or if you care to know why the characters made decisions they made, or why they should have made different decisions, that the Bible verses can give you some information there. Hopefully it will help somebody through a time in their life where they can't see exactly what decision to make, but then if they look at the Bible reference, it might help.
Tell me about the story.
All right. The story involves a young man and his travels from Virginia, where he was grown up, and the whole scenario before the Civil War, and how his parents raised him and how they felt about the coming Civil War, and how his father wanted to take him westward always, he and his family, to a place where there was no slavery, where people could be free to choose the kind of life they wanted, and that would be the Western territories.
In the process of writing, the personal discipline, did you have a routine that worked for you? I mean, did you wake up early in the morning and just spend a couple hours writing? What, in terms of the creative work of it, what worked for you?
I'm so glad you asked that question, because I never thought I would have time to do this. I was working when I first started. Plus, I was doing Challengers. I was doing Mission Possible, which took, most of my summer. But I found out that if I didn't, and I was doing the Bible Study Fellowship International, and, I found out if I didn't do my Bible study, and if I didn't do the mission trips, and if I stopped living my life just to write, I wasn't able to write. I couldn't, the ideas didn't come.
Wow.
But when I actually stepped out and did the ministry, God gave me the time to write. I sat outside of a cave one time in West Virginia in very cold weather writing, because I'm not going in the caves. I sent the girls in with knowledgeable people, but I can't do caves. But I sat there and I wrote. So I've written in the strangest places, in Spain and at the beach and all over the place, just wherever I could. And God always blessed me if I kept doing my ministry.
Wow.
So even to the point, and I have to tell this little story,
Sure.
I was to go on Mission Possible, and I thought that I was going to go to Colorado with Mission Possible 2. And lo and behold, I was so happy, because I thought, oh, perfect, guns and horses, and I can learn all of this things for my book. And then I was told, no, I'm sorry, it's going to be the East Coast for you this year. And I had a little silent temper tantrum, I have to admit. But what happened was, when I agreed to do it and I put it aside and I said, God, you have reasons for this, I went to Pennsylvania on Mission Possible 1, and there I met Civil War reenactors, a man that had horses that knew exactly how to worm them the old-fashioned ways, how to make a girth, just all these things I never expected to find were there for me.
Wow.
And God doesn't care where you are or what, he just provides what you need.
That's neat.
It's been that way all along. So it's an amazing experience.
The series is No Shadow of Turning, and book 1 is now available on Amazon and barnesandnoble.com and places that you regularly buy your books. We're so excited to be able to introduce this to you. So thank you for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you in another episode of Meet the Author.